Teacher Ola, welcome to yet another live class. Today we're talking about the fourth episode of a brilliant Netflix series, Sex Education. So, today we've got episode 4. I'm happy to have you all here. Słuchajcie, dzisiaj czwarty odcinek, przed nami jeszcze cztery. Super, cieszę się, że jesteście, że kontynuujecie ze mną tę drogę i zaczynamy. Słuchajcie, co zrobić, żeby to wszystko przyniosło Wam jak najlepszy rezultat? Przede wszystkim poświęćcie uwagę 100% na tę godzinę. Im bardziej się skupimy dziś, tu i teraz, tym lepiej dla nas, tym lepiej to zapamiętacie. Troszkę może Instagramik obniżymy tu. Czyżbym miała informację, że coś tu nie działa?
Jesteś na Instagramie? Działa wszystko?
Jasne. Hello, jestem? Powiedzcie, jestem? Oczywiście, że jestem.
Okay, dobra.
Mieliśmy zasianą panikę. Ale jest wszystko ok. Więc tak, poświęćcie tutaj teraz godzinę. Słuchajcie, niedziela wieczór, lepszego momentu nie będzie na przygotowanie się z tego serialu. Hello, super, cieszę się, że jesteś. Hej. Po drugie, przygotujcie sobie, tak, widzisz, wszystko słychać. Oczywiście wszystko jest w porządku. Po drugie, przygotujcie sobie coś do notowania. Niech to będzie choćby jeden zwrot. Warto zapisać choćby i ten jeden. Po trzecie, przygotujcie sobie słuchawki. Myślę, że nie zaszkodzi mieć trochę lepszą jakość dźwięku i powtarzać po mnie tak, żeby było po prostu jak najlepiej. Powtarzajcie koniecznie na głos. Ja nie będę dawać długich przerw. Wiecie, o co chodzi. To nie pierwsze nasze spotkanie na żywo. Będę natomiast sygnalizować Wam tak krótką przerwą, żeby sobie powtórzyć na głos. Co powtórzycie na głos, też zapamiętacie lepiej. Zanotujcie, powtórzcie na głos i wróćcie do tego jeszcze za kilka dni. Powinno się zapamiętać. Powinno być dobrze. Słuchajcie, oglądaliście czwarty odcinek? Jesteście przygotowani do tego dzisiejszego spotkania? Mam wybranych kilka fajnych scen, mam nadzieję nie za dużo, nie za mało, powinno być wszystko dobrze, więc zaczynajmy, tak? Jesteśmy wszyscy już gotowi. Super. Więc zaczynajmy od sceny z Ruby i Otisem. To jest scena u niego w pokoju. Posłuchajcie krótkiego dialogu i potem sobie porozmawiamy o jakichś zwrotach. Mamy tak. Ruby says, "Your eyebrows look bad today. Do you want to smooth them out for me?" "Not particularly, no. That's it." Zwróćcie uwagę na tutaj dwie rzeczy. Pierwsza z nich, your eyebrows, they look bad. They look bad. So, they don't look badly, okay? That's the thing. They look bad, not badly. Why? So, if we describe verbs, you probably remember this rule. To describe verbs, use adverbs. She dances beautifully. He works hard. Akurat hard brzmi tak samo adverb jak adjective, więc to Wam nie pomogło bardzo. But she dances beautifully. Dodajemy to li w regularnych przymiotnikach, żeby zrobić przysłówek i żeby można było opisać tym czynność, a nie osobę, a nie object, podmiot. Zobaczcie, subject, object to dopełnienie. Subject, czyli podmiot, osobę, rzecz. Tutaj co wygląda bad? Eyebrows. Your eyebrows look bad. We could say maybe if Otis's vision was impaired, we could have said you see badly because your eyesight is impaired. Your vision is impaired. But we don't describe Otis. We don't describe the action of seeing. We only describe his looks. Your eyebrows look bad instead of badly. Taki szybki tip, jak sobie to łatwo sprawdzić, taki krótki, prosty test. Jeśli chcecie wiedzieć, czy to ma być bad, czy badly, good, czy well, czy wystarczy przymiotnik, czy trzeba zamienić na ten przysłówek, adverb, to możecie spróbować zamienić główny czasownik na czasownik być, to be. Jeżeli to będzie pasować, plus minus, to znaczy, że nie trzeba zamienić na przysłówek i wystarczy przymiotnik. Zobaczcie, na przykład mam tu takie jakieś zdania. Tak, zdania. Food seems good. This food seems good. This food is good. Opisujemy to jedzenie, nasz podmiot, a nie czynność, jakąkolwiek czynność, a nie żaden czasownik, prawda? Opisujemy tylko to jedzenie. This food is good. The wine tastes fine. The wine is fine. Zgadza się. Możemy zamienić, zostaje przymiotnik. She remained calm. She was calm. Pasuje. Po raz kolejny. Zobaczcie ten przykład. Teraz będzie odwrotnie. Będziemy potrzebować przysłówka. The plant grew quickly. The plant grew quickly. I tutaj nie opisujecie, nie pasuje nam zamienić czasownik główny na to be, bo wtedy zostaniemy z the plant was quick. To nie o to chodzi, prawda? The plant grew quickly. Opisujemy proces jego rośnięcia. Jak rósł? Rósł szybko. It grew quickly. Ale, zobaczcie ten przykład. I grew angry. I grew angry. I to angry nie opisuje żadnej czynności, tylko mnie. I was angry. That's it. And then Ruby said, not particularly, no. How would you translate this word? Not particularly, this phrase. Not particularly. Do you want to smooth them out for me because eyebrows didn't look good that day? Not particularly. Not particularly. What's that? Not particularly. Nieszczególnie. Powiedziałabym, że to będzie coś takiego. Nie za bardzo. Nieszczególnie. Not particularly. Nieszczególnie. Ruby and Otis. Let's see another dialogue from them, but it's later at school. Ruby, are you sure everything's all right? Why do you keep asking me that? Well, I have noticed you're being meaner to me than usual. Like you're annoyed with me. What would I be annoyed about? She asks. So a few things here. You keep asking. It's repetitive, it's annoying. You keep asking. You keep on asking could be added. I've noticed you're being meaner to me than usual. Marina pisze niezbyt. Not particularly. Dokładnie tak. Not particularly. Awesome. Coś tam się dzieje na Facebooku. Pozdrawiam, witam, dzień dobry. So, not particularly, nie za bardzo, niezbyt. A wracając do tego dialogu. Otis says to Ruby, I have noticed you're being meaner. What's that? You're being meaner. You are not mean. He's not saying you are meaner. You are mean. It's just you are being mean. You are being meaner. I to nie powinno tak bardzo Ruby urazić. Nie sądzę, żeby ona tutaj była przez Otisa urażona, ale po prostu zachowujesz się. You are being. You are being silly. You are being stupid is less offensive than you are stupid. You are silly. That's more rude. So, and also noticed, meaner. Stopniowanie tego przymiotnika odbywa się za pomocą końcówek tylko. Right? It's because it's a one-syllable word. Mean. So I see this a lot. More mean. More mean. The most mean. Meaner. Meaner, the meanest. The meaner, the meanest. Nieczęsto chyba stopniujemy ten przymiotnik i po prostu dlatego on tak brzmi dziwnie w stopniu wyższym. Meaner. Because Ruby is usually mean to everybody. So he noticed he's a bit meaner than normally. So she's behaving meaner. What would I be annoyed about? She asks him. That's how she plays her game. That's how she plays her game. Ruby later on talks to Olivia. Olivia's her friend. Remember, she's her friend. She has got a boyfriend named Malik, and they make up this little gang, Ruby's gang, I call them. And she says to Olivia, Otis doesn't love me. What do you mean? I told him that I loved him and he didn't say it back. What did he say? He said, that's nice. What a dickhead. Everyone loves you. I know. That's why I'm so confused. I think I'm in the wrong place. Let's repeat those phrases. And he didn't say it back. He didn't say it back. I said I loved him. He didn't say it back. That's why I'm so confused. That's why I'm so confused. I think I'm in the wrong place. And here the question is, what does this mean? I think I'm in the wrong place. In the wrong place at the wrong time. What's that? I think I'm in the wrong place. Hello, Anna. Great to see you here. Awesome. Tell me what's that? What's the meaning of this phrase? I think I'm in the wrong place. I think I'm in the wrong place. You can also translate into Polish. I think I'm in the wrong place, at the wrong time, in the wrong place. Chyba znalazłam się. Excellent pronunciation, not excellent, but thank you. Thank you. So, I think I'm in the wrong place, bo jestem w złym miejscu, w sensie takim, wiecie, niedosłownym. Chyba jestem w złej sytuacji, chyba powinnam zmienić to, co się dzieje. Ta sytuacja nie jest dla mnie dobra. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. So, it's not just about physical. It's not at all about physical location. And Otis has a difficult conversation with Ruby. He says this. And I wanted to say, I've been having an amazing time with you. And I do really like you. You like me? Yeah, I like you a lot. But you don't love me. I just have to say that in my own time. And I don't feel that way right now. That's not to say I won't. I just don't at the moment. I've never said that to anyone. I'm sorry. Okay, so this was tough for everybody, especially, I don't know, for everybody, for both. I wanted to say, I've been having an amazing time with you, present perfect. He doesn't see this as past yet. It's still ongoing, right? So he's been having an amazing time. I've been having an amazing time with you. I've been having an amazing time with you. I just have to say that in my own time. I just have to say that in my own time. How would you translate this? Tell me, how would you translate this? I just have to say this in my own time. Think how to translate it. Muszę to powiedzieć w swoim czasie. Mam swój moment na to. Będzie na to czas, chociaż nie obiecuję wcale, że tak będzie. He just says, I don't feel that way right now. I don't feel that way right now. That's not to say I won't. That's not to say I won't. How to translate that? That's not to say I won't. That's not to say I won't. That's not to say I won't. Muszę to powiedzieć w odpowiednim dla mnie czasie. Bardzo dobre tłumaczenie. Super. Mam nadzieję, że odwrotnie to tak samo zadziała, prawda? Dobrze jest sobie przetłumaczyć. To nie jest nic złego. Muszę to powiedzieć w odpowiednim czasie. Powiem to, Jola, powiem to w swoim czasie. Dagma, to nie znaczy, że nie chcę. To ten kolejny zwrot. Natomiast powiem to w swoim czasie. Pamiętacie? A teraz wy powiedzcie. Powiedzcie to na głos. Powiem to w swoim czasie. Powiem to w swoim czasie. I need to say that in my own time. I need to say that in my own time. Powiem to w swoim czasie. To nie znaczy, że nie chcę. It's not to say I won't. It's not to say I won't. That's not or it's not to say I won't. Okay, tell me what happened next. When he told her, I'm sorry, I've never said that to anyone, it's not my moment. I can't tell you this right now. I need to say it in my own time. What happened next? How did she react? Do you remember? Tell me, how did she react? How did Ruby react? How did Ruby react? I know I have to wait for your answers because there's some delay. So I'll just move forward, and if anybody writes something, we'll just come back to your answer. Otis and Jacob. That's just the top of this this situation here with Otis and Ruby. In the end, Otis goes to Jacob. They call him Jacob, and he tells him this: I just hurt someone really badly, and I kind of feel like shit. Did you do it on purpose? No. Ruby wanted me to say I loved her, but I didn't feel the same. You did the right thing. I don't know, she was really upset. Well, people deserve your whole heart, Otis. If you can't give them that, it's better they know. It's the kinda thing to do. Alrighty, so I just hurt someone really badly. This time we add "ly" to adjective and end up with the adverb really badly, because this time we don't describe Otis. It's not about him, it's about what he did. It's about the verb to hurt someone. Hurt can't be replaced with to be in this case, in this sentence. Ruby wanted me to say, I draw your attention to this phrase, this version of this phrase. In each episode, there is a different one. In every episode and in every live class like today, because I know we do tend to struggle with translating this phrase. Chcę, żebyś ty, chcę, żeby ona chce, żebym ja. So this is usually quite confusing. It's just that. Listen, this is your pattern. I want you to. She wants me to. I wanted them to. That's it. I didn't feel the same. You did the right thing. It's the kinder thing to do. Remember, I just told you how to grade short adjectives, one-syllable adjectives, and here we have another one, kind, kinder. What was the previous one? Do you remember? There was an example with mean. Mean, meaner, the meanest, and this time it's kind, kinder. It's kinder thing to say, to do. It's a kinder thing to do. Let's leave Otis and move on to another scene. This time we have Anna and Maeve. Anna is who? Who's Anna? Who the heck is Anna? Do you know? Think, who was Anna? Anna was connected with Elsie. Anna is Elsie's foster family. Elsie is Maeve's sister. Maeve, would you like to stay for dinner? No thanks. I've gotta get up early tomorrow. How come? How come? I have to finish this application for an overseas study thing, and I just need to use a school computer, so... Well, why don't you use mine? No, it's okay. Honestly, it's fine. Then you can stay for dinner too. Later they continue. Weren't you going on a school trip? Do you need help paying for it? No thanks. I don't need charity. I don't need charity. She's very proud. Maeve is quite proud. Would you like to stay for dinner? Would you like to do something? This is how you make offers. Would you like to have some tea? Would you like to stay for dinner? This is how you make offers. How come? How come? So how come has like two meanings at least. First would it be, how is it possible? How come? How is it possible? How is it possible? Or here, something else. I gotta get up early tomorrow. How come? I have to finish this application. How come in this case means why? Why is that? Why do you have to get up so early? And she makes another offer, but in a different way. Previously she said, would you like to stay for dinner? This time she offers her computer, but differently. This time she says, why don't you use mine? Why don't you? And notice how Maeve doesn't answer the question, because that's what you do. That's what you don't do. You don't answer the question. So if someone says, why don't we go to the cinema? You don't say, because I'm busy on Monday or something. You don't answer the question. Because. You don't say because. You just answer yes or no, because it's an offer. It's an offer. Why don't you use mine? No, it's okay. Honestly, it's fine. Then you can stay for dinner. Righty. So that's, in one short dialogue, we've got two ways of making an offer. Why don't you and would you like? No thanks, I don't need charity. And I'd like you to answer this question. How do you translate charity in this meaning, in this particular dialogue, into Polish? I don't need charity. How do you translate that? I don't need charity. Jest jak jałmużna, okay? Nie potrzebuję łaski. Nie potrzebuję twojej jałmużny. I don't need charity. Oh, okay. Page 3. Alrighty. Let's go on. Maeve leaves bez łaski. Ekstra jałmużny. Co ja wymyślam? Tak się mówi. Łaski bez. Bez łaski. Dobre. Nie potrzebuję twojej łaski, Laura. Dziękuję. Dziękuję, że jesteś i że piszesz. Nie potrzebuję twojej łaski. Super. I don't need charity. Proud people don't need charity. Maeve leaves the house, Anna's house, and she meets her mom. Remember? Her mom, Erin. Why was she there? Do you remember? What was she doing right there? Near Anna's house. What are you doing here? Just going for a quick evening run. It isn't illegal, is it? It's not illegal, is it? It's not illegal, is it? You only wear hats when you're doing something dodgy. Dodgy. It's not illegal, is it? Question tag at the end. Interesting phrase. It's not illegal, is it? Chyba wolno, tak? Chyba wolno. Chyba nie jest zabronione bieganie. It isn't. Sorry. Sometimes I get emotional and that's what happens. It's not illegal, is it? You only wear a hat when you're doing something dodgy. Dodgy, you can translate if you wish. Please do. Please translate. Tell me what's the translation of dodgy. This adjective could be replaced here with suspicious. When you do something suspicious, something fishy, something's up, something's fishy, something's dodgy. So what's happening with this Isaac? I like him. It's none of your business. Stop being so nosy. Suspicious, Laura. Tak jest. Super. Powiem wam, nie mam cierpliwości do tego, że jest to opóźnienie, ale spoko. Tak jest też fajnie. Suspicious. Dodgy, fishy, suspicious. So, what's happening with this Isaac? This Isaac. I like him. It's none of your business. Stop being so nosy. Pardonnez-moi, she answered funnily. Stop being so nosy. And what's happening with this Isaac? Wiecie, jak to jest? Co tam z tym Isaaciem? Co tam z tym kimś tam? Co tam z tym? What's happening with this Isaac? So, it's none of her business and she shouldn't be so nosy. Nosy. Intrusive. It's just intrusive because you put your nose into somebody else's life and that's not the right thing for you to do. Translation? I guess wścibski. Wścibski. Wtykający nos przecież, oczywiście. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Stop being so nosy. Wścibska. Dziękuję, Laura. Tak jest. Wścibska. Nie bądź taka wścibska. Maeve. She talks... I don't remember who was she talking to. I think it might have been her friend. Her name was... I forgot. Amy, of course. Amy. I think that's a dialogue between the two, but I have only one name, Maeve. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on the school trip. I'm not gonna go on the school trip. Why? Because it's too expensive. It's not that much, is it? It is expensive. My mom freaked out when she saw how much it was. Really? My mom freaked out when she saw how much it was. My mom panicked. She got nervous. She got nervous when she saw the price. Later on, Hope talks to Maeve. I think I messed up here. Myślę, że pogubiłam troszeczkę tutaj, zamieszałam po prostu z tą jedną sceną, którą teraz chcę Wam opowiedzieć. Ona powinna być trochę później, zdaje się, ale nieistotne. Tutaj się skupiamy na najpotrzebniejszych nam zwrotach i wyrażeniach praktycznych, przydatnych do używania, a nie ma to znaczenia, czy chronologicznie to się tutaj do końca zgadza, więc się nie ma czym martwić. So, Hope talks to Maeve. Oh, Maeve, have you calmed down since your little outburst in growth and development? Well, what was being taught is bollocks. That spirited energy would be better channeled into your education, especially if we're going to find the funding for the GTIP. Sorry for saying bollocks. You wanted to see me about the trip? I can't go. Your fees have been paid. By who? It was an anonymous payment. Do you remember who paid for the trip? For the Maeve's trip? To France? It's gonna be drama, but in the next episode, so maybe let's not spoil your fun. Have you calmed down since your little outburst, your little stunt, taki wybuch, po tym twoim małym wybuchu ostatnio? I think it was about her hair color, because she continues to wear blue hair to school, against the rules. She doesn't obey the rules. Well, what was being taught is bollocks. What was being taught. We have passive voice. We have past of teach. Teach, taught, taught. Listen how simple is that. I know you struggle because ty, a, u, g, hy, ty. So many letters and so many syllables. You want to pronounce all of them. Don't. There are just 3 sounds. Taught. What was being taught is bollocks. Bollocks is unfortunately a swear word. It could be replaced with rubbish. What was being taught was rubbish. It was nonsense. Bollocks. Why it's a swear word? Why is it a swear word? Check for yourself in a dictionary. Check for yourself. It's your homework. Extra homework. Additional homework. So, let's move on. That spirited energy would be better channeled into your education. That spirited energy would be better channeled into your education. Spirited energy? Spirited energy. Spirited energy is just full of energy. Full of energy would be better channeled into your education. And your fees have been paid. It was an anonymous payment. It was an anonymous payment. I hope you repeat out loud. You know the drill. Repeat out loud after me. Always. And let's see Jean Milburn. It's always fun to listen to her, to see her, right? So we have Jean Milburn talking to her therapist, and there's Jacob as well, because it's their therapy session. And she says this. Well, Otis, who's my son, has a girlfriend, and so he's very much been asserting his independence from me, and I don't see him very much anymore, which is a little painful, but I'm trying to respect his boundaries. And so, taka niepozorna rzecz, takie 2 małe słówka, ale to właśnie one sprawiają najwięcej problemu, prawda? Nigdy nie wiem, jak powiedzieć tak więc. And so, and just like that. And so, it's as simple as that. Asserting his independence from me. He's been doing this recently. He's been asserting his independence from me. To assert, to say something clearly. He's been clearly asserting his independence. And respect his boundaries. Boundaries are those dividing lines, obviously. So he's been protecting those boundaries, and she is trying to respect them. So she doesn't force him to spending more time with her. Yeah. And what's the opposite? To respect somebody's boundaries. And of course not to respect somebody's boundaries, but we can also say, wiecie, jakby przekraczać czyjeś granice. Push. Tutaj widzicie, to jest właśnie ciekawe, że po polsku mówimy od razu przekraczać granice czyjeś, a tutaj mamy tylko push. Push somebody's boundaries. To push boundaries. And then they move on to talk about Ola and her mom. Do you know what happened to her mom? Jakob says this. Oh, she's dead. He's very direct. Oh, she's dead. She passed away a few years ago from cancer. And, therapist asks, is this loss something you can both talk about openly? Yes. I think we've talked about it, haven't we? Yeah, well, I don't like to dwell on the past too much. But yeah, well, that went well, Jean says. Well, that went well. We'll get here later. She passed away. She died. This is euphemism. So an easier word, just to avoid using the word to die. So she passed away. She passed away. Also to stop existing, because it doesn't necessarily have to concern people. It can be about other things which pass away. Everything passes. So, he doesn't like to dwell on the past too much. He doesn't like to dwell on the past too much. To dwell on something. Tell me what's the meaning of to dwell. To dwell on something. Stop dwelling on it. Move on. To dwell on the past. To dwell on something. What's the meaning? To talk about something a lot. To talk about something a lot. Especially about something that would be better if you forgot. Right? You don't want to do it. Dwelling on something, on the past, on mistakes, or on injustice, I don't know, or things from the past is never a good idea. Rozpamiętywać, super Dagmara. To dwell on something. Constantly, coming back to something. This isn't good. That's not good for your mental health. Avoid it. That went well. She was sarcastic here, wasn't she? How would you translate this? That went well. How did it go? It went well. How did it go? It went well. Poszło dobrze. Poszło nieźle. It didn't. Overthink. Sure, to overthink. Yes. Wait, because Jacob said something that didn't agree with Jean about therapy, and she asks him, what are you saying? Are you saying that therapy is just a cynical, money-making practice? I'm not sure I believe in it. Jacob says, you don't believe in therapy? Come on, I'm not saying you're not very good at your job. I'm not sure that talking can fix things, can fix everyone. What? Did I make you upset? You are entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. What are you saying? What are you saying? A cynical money-making practice. A cynical money-making practice. Talking can fix everyone. Talking can fix everyone. You are entitled to your opinion. Entitled, you have the right to have your own opinion. Like Everybody, I have 2 other examples. This ticket entitles you to travel first class. This poem is entitled Sunset. This poem that's a different meaning, isn't it? This poem has this title, simply. Jean Milburn says to Jakob, I'm off to pregnancy yoga. What are you doing? I'm building a tree house. Okay, why? It'll be fun for our baby to play in. The baby's not even born, yeah? But he's building a tree house. Natural thing to do. Of course. I'm off to pregnancy yoga. That's what I wanted. I'm off to pregnancy yoga. I'm just going there. I'm going to this place. I'm off to some place. I'm off to yoga class. Jean and Maureen, because Maureen, you know, Groff's ex-wife, I'm not sure they haven't divorced yet, have they? But they don't live together, they're separated, I guess. So Maureen has become Jean's friend. And maybe you remember what happened there during this pregnancy yoga class. Why did Jean have a difficulty breathing? What happened? Why did she have difficulty breathing? I will read the dialogue. Please give me your answer in the meantime. Then why am I feeling like I can't breathe? You're just feeling panicky. It's okay, it's normal. I thought this was the right thing to do for me, for the baby. I didn't want to raise another child alone, and now I'm feeling like I'm losing control, and I think I've made a really bad decision. What makes you think that? Well, we have nothing in common, Maureen. Nothing. I mean, I feel like I'm having a baby with a stranger. You know, Michael and I used to have a lot in common. Wanted the same things in life. Nice house, babies, a dog. But in the end, we had all those things, but no connection. Jakob adores you. I know these changes are scary, but I think that counts for a lot. Thank you. Maureen's a good friend, isn't she? You're just feeling panicky. You're just feeling panicky. I'm losing control. I'm losing control. What makes you think that? And I must tell you, I really struggle in translating this sentence. How do you translate this? What makes you think that? Translate into Polish. What makes you think that? Co robi cię myśleć tak? What makes you think that? Co sprawia? Co każe ci tak myśleć? Co sprawia, że tak myślisz? Co każe ci tak myśleć? What makes you think that? Co sprawia, że tak myślisz? Dziękuję, Laura. Super. What makes you think that? Well, we have nothing in common. We have nothing in common. It's basically like having a baby with a stranger. Co powoduje, że tak myślisz? Dlaczego tak uważasz? Dzięki, dziewczyny. Super. With a stranger. A stranger is a person you don't know. And it's not the same as a strange person. Somebody who is strange is not necessarily a stranger. It can be a friend and still be strange. Michael and I used to have a lot in common. They used to have a lot in common. It's past simple. So for her, it's clearly past. She's over. She's over with this. In the end, we had all those things. In the end, not at the end. In the end. In the end means finally, eventually. These changes are scary. These changes are scary. I think that counts for a lot. How would you translate that? You're great at translating, so tell me, what's Polish version of this? I think that counts for a lot. because they have this connection, and that counts for a lot. They don't need to have a lot in common. They need to have the connection. All they need to have is the connection, not necessarily a lot in common. The same hobbies, for instance. That does not matter that much. So, how do you translate this? I think that counts for a lot. Myślę, że to się najbardziej liczy. It has a lot of value. Yes, thank you, Laura. It has a lot of value. How would I translate it? But I think that counts for a lot. To ma wielkie znaczenie, to ma duże znaczenie, to się najbardziej liczy. Super. Super. Słuchajcie, zostawiamy tą jogę. Lecimy do dyrektorki Hope. Co ona tu wyrabia, to już jest grubo. Zobaczcie sami. I don't know about you. I think she's talking to the teachers here. She has a meeting with her fellow teachers. The principal, the head teacher, Hope Hedden. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of hearing our school's name being dragged through the mud, which is why I'm implementing a plan to put a stop to that. It starts with a new syllabus for SRE, which will now be called Growth and Development. And to put your parents and investors' minds at ease, I want you all to follow these new guidelines precisely. That means no one will diverge from the set topics and no one will talk to students about their private lives. The students usually have quite a lot of personal questions. I think Colin said that. School is not a place for personal questions. Jobs were lost over inappropriate events that happened on this campus, and I want you all to be protected from that happening again. See how she manipulates them. Okay, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing our school's name being dragged through the mud. I znowu prośba do was. Przetłumaczcie ten zwrot. To have something being dragged through the mud. To drag through the mud. Find Polish equivalent of this phrase. It's like to damage, to ruin somebody's reputation, but it doesn't have to be true. It can be unfair. That kind of treatment can be unfair. Pomieszane z błotem. Super. Zobaczcie, po angielsku to jest przeciągnięte przez błoto, dragged through the mud. Przy okazji troszkę się rymuje, więc można sobie to jakoś skojarzyć. Yes. Zmieszane z błotem. I'm sick of hearing our school's name being dragged through the mud, which is why I'm implementing a plan to put a stop, położyć kres temu procederowi, and that's why she wants to implement this new guidelines. And the goal is, parents and investors. She, as a head teacher, she has to think about money. Investors, money. So she wants to put their minds at ease. She wants to put parents and investors' minds at ease. To put somebody's mind at ease means to calm somebody down. And I want you all to follow these guidelines, set of rules, precisely. No one will diverge from the set topics. No one will go to different directions. You all need to stick to the topics, to the set topics, and no one will diverge from the norm, diverge from the procedure, from the rule. Yeah, to become different. You have to stick to the rules. Jobs were lost over inappropriate events on this campus. Unsuitable. Inappropriate means unsuitable. Super. Let's move on. Jackson and Vivian. What's Jackson's idea? Jackson had a great idea. he got inspired by the situation with Cal and her clothes, her baggy clothes. The head teacher doesn't like her wearing too big uniform, school uniform. What's Jackson's idea? Listen to this dialogue with Vivian. I was wondering whether we could talk to Hope about setting up something where people could talk about what they need on campus. What kind of thing? A forum or something? People could talk about mental health and gender identity. This is how far you'll go to get a girl, Vivian commented. He and Cal, I guess, they were thinking about setting up something where people could talk about their mental... to organize. Set up a meeting, organize a meeting. To organize, to set up some place, some kind of forum for students to talk about mental health, gender identity. This is how far you'll go to get a girl. Do tego się posuniesz. This is how far you'll go. This is how far you'll go. Hope talks to Cal. It's okay. I don't want to cause trouble. I'll go with the girls. And because there was a line, remember? You had to choose boys or girls. And for Cal, it was just not doable. But she decided not to cause trouble. And she decided to go with the girls. And the head teacher, Hope, said, "Thank you, that's very helpful. Is there anything else, Cal?" "This is complete bullshit," Jackson said. "Be careful, Jackson. Wouldn't want to see you going down the wrong path. Wouldn't want to see you going down the wrong path." First of all, pronunciation of cause trouble, to cause trouble. That's very helpful. Repeat after me. That's very helpful. I don't want to see you going down the wrong path. Pamiętacie, to był u mnie taki post kiedyś, chyba wczoraj, nie wiem, przedwczoraj może, jak powiedzieć, schodzisz na złą ścieżkę, schodzić na złą drogę, raczej się mówi, prawda? No, ale tutaj mamy path, więc się zainspirowałam. Iść złą drogą, to go down the wrong path. And Vivian talks to Hope. She takes Jackson's idea and tells it, Hope. I was thinking of setting up a student forum to hear direct feedback from students about what they want to see implemented on campus. This shows great initiative, Vivian. I'll be interested to see what you discover. In the meantime, I'd like you to keep an eye on your peers during the trip. So can I have your number, please? Yeah, I'll text you. And she did. Later, but that's next episode. A student forum to hear direct feedback from students. This shows great initiative. Keep an eye on your peers. Peers, this word appeared before in other episodes. I think in the last episode. Do you remember what it means? Peers, fellow students, people her age, her fellow students. Cal and Jackson. I've been looking all over for you. Do you want to talk about it? About this little situation with the head teacher? And she says, nope. Let's get baked. I've been looking all over for you. Hello, everyone. I've been looking all over for you. Let's get baked. What does it mean? Synonym to baked is stoned. It's to get intoxicated by alcohol or drug, rather by drugs. Pot in this case, yeah, they went off smoking. Hope, Cal, Jackson and Vivian, all four of them. I think this is Hope talking to Cal. Your uniform's still shabby. Baggy, too big. I don't understand why it's a problem. Perhaps you can attend Vivian's student forum next week and raise your concerns there. Do keep me updated on the trip, please. Jackson, Vivian's forum? You didn't tell her it was my idea. Didn't come up, Vivian said. Didn't come up. Your uniform still looks shabby. Next, raise your concerns there. You can raise your concerns there. Raise your problems, issues there. That's the right place to raise your concerns. Podnieść ten temat. Widzicie, jak to jest podobne w polskim? Podnieść jakiś temat, jakieś wątpliwości, zmartwienia, to raise concerns there, because she can attend the student forum, which is a brilliant idea, but not Vivian's, Jackson's. Do keep me updated. Do keep me updated. This do can be confusing, right? Because normally you would say do is used for questions. Do you keep or something. So this is not a question, but do has its own function in this sentence. It's done for the sake of emphasis, to highlight. Do keep me updated. To focus attention on the verb. Do keep me updated. So you didn't tell her it was my idea. Didn't come up. Tell me, how do you translate this? Didn't come up. It didn't come up. It didn't come up. This topic was not brought up. You know? During this discussion, there was no occasion to talk about whose idea is this. That's why she didn't tell her it was Jackson's idea, because this topic was not raised, like raise concerns. The topic was not raised. It wasn't brought up. Ten temat jakoś nie wypłynął, wiecie? Jakoś tak nie wyszło w dyskusji, jakoś tak nie wyszło w rozmowie, jakoś tak nie wyszło w rozmowie. It didn't come up. It didn't come up. Colin. Remember, we're not asking questions. He shows the students this video. We're just watching the video, so why can't we ask questions? That's another question. They're making valid points about this video, which isn't informative. Please, you're disrupting the class. Get out. Seriously? I'm sorry, okay? But I could lose my job if I let you all ask me questions. Just watch it, please. Okay, out now. So, this is Otis. Otis had to leave the class because he was raising... Temat nie został poruszony. It didn't come up. Jakoś nie wyszło w rozmowie. Tak. Nie wyszło w rozmowie, tak? Nie wyszło na wierzch, nie wypłynęło to. Ten temat nie wypłynął. Nie został poruszony. Valid points based on logic. So this video is not informative. And students who raise their concerns, they're making valid points based on logic. You're disrupting the class, get out. Do you remember who did Otis meet in the corridor? In the corridor or on the corridor? You tell me. Who did Otis meet? In the corridor or on the corridor? 2 questions in one. Not bad. Who did Otis meet in the corridor? So it was Maeve. Maeve got kicked out because, you know, girls and boys have been divided into 2 separate classes. They have different video materials to watch. And so she got kicked out. She disagreed with the content of this video as well. And what about in the corridor? In the corridor or on the corridor? That's a valid question. In the corridor, if you mean between the 2 walls of the corridor. If something's happening between 2 walls of the corridor, use in the corridor. They were running in the corridor. They were talking in the corridor. Don't run in the corridor. But on, use on when you mean not between the walls, but behind the walls or one of the walls in the corridor. In this case, yes, in the corridor. But you can say on the corridor if you mean behind the wall of the corridor. Like, he has a room on the corridor. Interesting, huh? So he met Maeve there and they talk. Aren't you supposed to be in class? Yeah, but my opinions on abstinence weren't appreciated, so I got kicked out. Yeah, me too. We need to tell Hope she can't be teaching this stuff. It's backward. She's not gonna listen. We need to do something. I got kicked out. She was removed from the class, just like Otis. And it's backwards. It's medieval. You know, it's backwards. It's medieval. How to translate that? It's backwards. The teachings from that video. Backwards. Medieval. Dark Ages. To jest zacofane. Backwards. It's just backwards. Okay, guys. Adam, Eric, and Rahim. I picked this tiny dialogue for the sake of one phrase. So listen up. Eric doesn't like poetry. That's why he's giving you your books back. I never said I didn't like poetry, Eric said. Krok w tył. Backwards. To jest cofanie się. That poet, Ariana Brown, said about our various selves that they are all names you wear in harmony until you can't. Was he taking the piss? Adam asked. I don't know, Eric said. So to take the piss. To take the piss. Do you know the meaning? Was he taking the piss? Like, he didn't get it. He doesn't read poetry. He has no knowledge on that. And he asks, was he taking the piss? Are you taking the piss? It's to make a joke. To make a joke about somebody or something, but really be careful here not to say epis, because to take epis is something different. Just check in your dictionary. That's another homework. So check bollocks and check to take a piss. This phrase here, to take the piss, robić sobie żarty, robić sobie jaja. Czy on sobie z nas robi jaja? Czy on się z nas nabija? Is he taking the piss? The piss? I think it'll be good for us to get some space when I'm in Nigeria. You wanna get away from me? Adam, you are so defensive. No. You just said that you wanna get away from me. Defensive, protecting somebody, himself. And I guess Eric wants to get some space when he's in Nigeria. That's not good. Much later, at the end of this episode, they talk again. That's final scene. Not the final scene, but two from the end. Adam and Eric. Hey, I'm sorry. I lost my temper. I know. It's just, I just wish you wouldn't get jealous. I chose you. I don't want us to have space because I love you. I love you too. Adam and Eric. I lost my temper. I lost my temper means I lost it. I blew my fuses. I lost it. I lost my mind. I got so angry. I got furious. I lost my temper. I just wish you wouldn't get jealous. Why wouldn't? Why didn't he just say, I just wish you didn't get jealous? Wouldn't it be the same? I just wish you wouldn't get jealous. So it's not exactly the same. He would like him to stop being jealous, but expressing it with this wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't interrupt me. It just shows irritation, annoyance. It conveys more to it, more meaning. Colin and Grove. Goodness me, I gotta speed up. Colin and Grove. Colin, got much planned for today, compadre? No, not really. What about you? Oh, I'll be spending the day pretending I like teaching. It's good to be busy. Oh, is that the time? Is that the time? I better skittle-scattle-do. Hey, listen, why don't you, me and Emily, have dinner tonight? You can pick up the ingredients today. How do you feel about Mexican? I don't cook. It comes in a packet, dude. We'll cook it. You just gotta eat it. Okay? We're on. We're on like Donkey Kong. We're on like Donkey Kong. We're on like Donkey Kong. So, got much planned for today, compadre? Compadre is like friend. Hey, friend. Got much planned for today? Not really, niespecjalnie. How about you? It's a nice way of keeping the conversation going. How about you? Yes. I better skittle-scattle-do. That's what Colin uses, because this is Colin, right? So this is a way to express... This is what you can say when you're looking for a good excuse to leave someplace abruptly. Like the conversation is just too long and you want to go out. You want to go away from this conversation, and that's a good excuse. It doesn't explain anything. I better skittle-scattle-do. That's it. I'm busy. I gotta go. Hey, listen, why don't you offer, another example, you can pick up the ingredients. Pick up, buy the ingredients. Okay, we're on. We are set. The meeting has been set. We are on. We're on like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, because it's like a phrase dubbed by rapper Ice Cube, and there was a song, and there was a computer game, video game, which I don't know. In this game, there is a character Donkey Kong. It rhymes. It's fun. That's all. So it means I can't wait, it's on, it's 100%, I'm willing to do it, I can't wait, I'm looking forward, right? That's it. And then Michael, Groff and Maureen, they meet at the shop because he went to the shops to pick up those ingredients. Right. Oh, Michael, how are you? I didn't think you liked Mexican food. I don't. Not that I have tried it. I'm just shopping for dinner. My friend is cooking. I think you might like them. How are you coping with everything? Good. Very, very excellent. How's Adam? Why don't you ask him yourself? I haven't heard from him, so I think he'd appreciate if you reached out to him. You're his father. It's not too late to fix things, you know? She said that. And he misunderstood her. Not that I've tried. Nie, żebym próbował. Not that I've tried. How are you coping with everything? How are you dealing with everything? How do you manage? But be careful to use this O sound there. How are you coping? Because to copy, how are you coping? How are you coping? To copy, to cope. Why don't you ask? Offer. I think I'd appreciate if you reached out to him. He'd appreciate, sorry. I think he'd appreciate if you reached out to him, if you contacted him. It's not too late to fix things. Michael Groff comes back to Colin's house, and there's Emily. There's this Mexican dinner, and they talk. And she asked me how I was, and we spoke about Adam briefly. And then, just as she was leaving, she said something about it never being too late to fix things. And then she touched my arm. That's major. She wants you back. Colin, that's not a business. Unless that's something you want. Well, you have to let her know before it's too late. Make a gesture. Oh, send her a fruit basket. Or a helium balloon or hot air balloon. So these gestures were bad ideas. He did something else. Do you remember his gesture? We spoke about Adam briefly. We spoke about Adam shortly. We spoke about Adam briefly. Just as she was leaving. That's major. What's the opposite of major? The opposite of major is minor. And that's big. That's major. That's something. It was nothing. Make a gesture. Fruit basket, hot air balloon, helium balloon. He did something else. He took mangoes. Can you believe it? So, Groff goes to Maureen. Well, you said it's not too late to fix things, and I know we broke up because I didn't want mangoes. I meant fix things between you and Adam. But Michael, we didn't break up because you didn't want mangoes. Then why did we? He has no idea. Goodness me, he has no idea. We broke up because I didn't want mangoes. I'm seeing someone now. Maureen has somebody else. She's seeing someone now. Adam asks his English teacher, Emily, do you remember what? Let me read it out. I was thinking maybe if I got a B on the test this afternoon, that I might be able to move up a set. Thank you, Kama. Opposite of major is minor. Brilliant. I might be able to move up a set. A set is a group of students, so he would like to get promoted to a better group, to a better class. Fingers crossed, Adam. Fingers crossed. It's a common gesture to wish somebody luck. Adam and Emily, because he writes this test, and do you remember how did he do on this test? How did I do on the test? You've got a D. That's bad. You've got a D. You'll have to stay in the same set. Please don't be disheartened, discouraged. Stay heartened. Keep trying. Don't lose your hope. What's the point? I'm not good at anything. I'm not good at anything. Everybody's good at something, not in something. Everybody's good at something. And he's good at pretending he's Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. So that's a start. That's a start. Isaac and Maeve, last but one scene. Have a listen. I couldn't decide which of your favorite meals to make, so I made them all. Well, Joe did it, but I'm really trying here. I can see that. No widzę. I can see that. These chips are called chips, like fish and chips, right? So hot dish, potatoes, hot fried food. And crisps, also made of potatoes, but this time they're crispy, they're crunchy, and they're a snack, and they're cold. They're not served hot. I think Anna paid for my France trip without telling me. So you're going? I don't need charity from anyone. Maeve, don't be proud, just go on the trip. Don't tell me what to do. Again, charity, you know what that means. And also, don't be proud. Don't be proud. Don't tell me what to do. You understand me like nobody else does. I didn't want to give that up. To give something up. To just stop having something. Recently, one of my students, he hadn't done his homework again, and he said, don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Can you guess the meaning? Can you translate? Don't give up on me. Nie skreślaj mnie. Nie kładź na mnie kreski, krzyżyka. Nie skreślaj mnie. The last scene. Hope, Colin and Emily. Over to you then. Over to you then. I give the responsibility to you because they go with the kids to the trip. So the next episode, the trip to France. I'm trusting you to maintain some discipline. Yeah, they did very well, of course. You betcha, Colin says. You betcha. No raczej. It's like załóż się, zobaczysz, założę się, załóż się. You betcha. You can be absolutely sure it's gonna be great. They will maintain this discipline. I na tym kończymy na dzisiaj. Wow, ile zwrotów, ile scen omówiliśmy dzisiaj. Nie wiem, nie życzyłam, sporo. Słuchajcie, będzie to gdzieś wszystko zebrane razem. To gdzieś to kurs mówienia po angielsku, tworzę coś takiego. Gdzieś tam pod koniec listopada będę o tym trąbić pewnie wszem i wobec. Ten live zostaje zapisany do końca listopada, jak również poprzednie 3 i kolejne 4, które się jeszcze odbędą. Widzimy się za tydzień w niedzielę o 20. Was zachęcam do obejrzenia odcinka 5 i przybycie tutaj w niedzielę wieczorkiem na kolejne nasze zajęcia online na żywo. I to wszystko. Życzę Wam przyjemnego wieczoru niedzielnego i super spoko poniedziałku. To się przyda. Dzięki. Do zobaczenia wszystkim. Pa!